purpose generator, purpose provoker, I Speak Life mentor, and just really coming on really quickly to have a quick conversation, probably around, I don't know, sometime this month. I had been in prayer around what March was going to look like. I had been, hey, Deneen, hey, Sun Map, hey. So let me just say this. I'm live on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Instagram is here, TikTok is here, and then Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are here. And so basically starting tomorrow, we're going to be studying the Book of Proverbs. And so I wanted to make sure that everybody in my community knows about this, because if you have been a part of 21 Days of Prayer, which I normally do every year in January, it's not going to be like that. However, I was feeling the need to make sure that in everything that we have going on in this world, that there is a sense of discernment and wisdom that we are getting from God. And let me just say, as I was praying, and really it was a personal prayer. And so as you all are coming in, say, hey, girl, hey, let me know you are here on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all the things. Hey, Teresa, how are you, love? Good to see you. I see you all joining and popping in on TikTok. And so, hey, girl, hey, me to let me know you are here. Hey, girl, hey, me on Instagram to let me know you are here. And so I sent an email out yesterday and I said that I was going to go live today. And so as promised, I wanted to make sure that I honor my word, right? So at any rate, I had been in prayer like, okay, Lord, what does March look like? How do we need to be showing up? What do we need to be doing in preparation for all of the things that are happening in this world? And I kept hearing the word wisdom, And so in hearing the word wisdom, it took me to the Book of Proverbs. And so this is where we're going to be reading collectively. And it really is personal Bible study. I'm inviting you to be a part of a community of us personally reading a proverb a day for 31 days in March, to study, to build your wisdom muscle, to build your discernment muscle. I will not be live every day, but I do have two communities that you can be a part of if you're on Facebook or Instagram. I have a group of about 1,300 women on Facebook. It's my I Speak Life Society. I've had that for multiple years. But as of today, I created a broadcast channel on Instagram, basically, and it's called Deetra's IG community. And I really created it for this. And this is why, because I want this to be a collective, collaborative thing. And so if you're on Facebook or if you're on Instagram, every single day, I will share a post, and I probably will make it like a midday post to give people an opportunity to get up, specifically if you are behind, right? So let's just say if I post like at 7:30 in the morning, some people may not be up. And so probably every day around 12:30 on in my groups and on my Facebook channel, True Heart Speaks, I'm going to be really just sharing and saying, hey, what do you guys have going on? Like what is God speaking to you about as it relates to Proverbs? Why am I doing this? For one, because I think that we have to start being a little bit more intentional about reading the word. We have to start being intentional about having personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Hi, Miss Edwards. How are you? I see you in there. Hey, Angelica. Hi, how are you? I see. So let me just see. It's a few of you on here. Mrs. I want to say Jesus Chris, Dwight, Red 55. There's a few of y'all that are watching on TikTok. And so again, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm live on all the platforms today. So YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Why? Because I wanted to make sure that I'm covering all the bases, and I want to make sure that everybody knows that starting tomorrow, March 1st, we're reading Proverbs together. The only way that you build a muscle is by doing the work, right? And so it doesn't make any, for me, I feel like it doesn't do you any good for me to teach you about or teach you my revelation about Proverbs. You have to get into the Bible and you have to start studying it for yourself. Now, what I will say, and I'm I will have to figure out how to share this, but I know specifically in my Facebook and my IG community that I have the broadcast channel on Instagram and my Facebook group on Facebook. For some people who are not familiar with studying on their own, who don't necessarily study Greek and Hebrew, or who don't have, concordances and all of the things, commentaries and all of that, there is a reading plan on in the YouVersion Bible, and it's through the Bible Project. And so if you've ever heard of the Bible Project, they're on YouTube. They have very good descriptions, very good studies of basically all of the books in the Bible. And so I wanted to make sure for people who still are unsure of like what to be looking for, what to be studying when they go through the book of Proverbs, because I think it's important for you to study to show yourself approved. Like it's important for you to know the word of God for yourself. And specifically, as I said, when we started this conversation, as I was praying, the Lord kept saying wisdom. And so you need to have wisdom with how to move throughout not only these next 4 years, but for your life, right? The next 30 days, the next, 6 months, the next year, like you're going to need wisdom in order to be able to navigate what God is doing and how he's doing it. And the only way you do that is by connecting with his word, connecting with him, learning his word, learning his voice, spending time with him. And so I wanted to spend some time tonight in preparation for tomorrow, just to talk to you a little bit about reading Proverbs over these next 31 days. And really we're going to keep it simple. Every single day, you're going to read the book of Proverbs. You're going to take notes on what you believe God is saying to you during the book in that specific chapter. If you want to do, a word study, or if you want to do a chapter study, or a verse by verse study. So there are a couple of online books that I use, not online books, online studies that I use. One is called the Blue Letter Bible. The one is called the Blue Letter Bible. And so if you are watching, type that in the chat. The Blue Letter Bible is called blueletterbible.com or blueletterbible.org. Let me just look really quickly, because you can look it up and it'll tell you. blueletterbible.org, blueletterbible.org. And then also there is one called biblehub.org. Now I know there's some people who use Logos, which is also a Bible study. However, whichever works for you, right? And so those of you who are coming in, make sure you say, hey girl, hey, let me know you are here. But starting tomorrow, we're going to be studying the book of Proverbs. Starting tomorrow, we're going to be studying the book of Proverbs. And if you can join in the reading plan, if you can join the reading plan today, the Bible Project reading plan, it starts, it's a 32-day reading plan, which means that on day one, starting today, it gives you an opportunity to be able to learn about Proverbs and then the basis of what it's all about. So I'm excited. I'm really excited about what God is going to be saying to me. I'm excited about what God is going to be saying to us collectively, because here's the other part. If you're a part of the Facebook group, or if you're a part of my Instagram group, and I'm not sure what it'll look like on all of my other platforms, which is why I'm telling everybody, so you know where to go, Facebook or Instagram. I will say that I am in prayer around what that looks like, to have a separate community where everybody can come outside of social media. I just don't know what that looks like right now. And the only reason I created one on Instagram is specifically because I know that I have consistent followers who are only on Instagram. And if they want to participate, I did not want them to miss it. And so if you're on Facebook or if you're on Instagram, and so if you're on Facebook, let me just say this. You can look up facebook.com. You can search up the I Speak Life Society. That's the Facebook group. Let me just say, if there are men watching, it is for women only, right? Which is why I have the IG group. The IG group is for everybody. So if you want to participate, everybody can participate, and everybody can be a part. And so I see you all joining in. Make sure you all say, hey girl, hey. Make sure you let me know you are here. I see people popping in and out. I'm on StreamYard. And so those of you who are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, I see you all. And so let me just pull this up really quickly. Let me see if I can pull it up so that I can see who's there. But like I said, I'm excited. I'm excited about what God is going to say. And I think that, unlike when we do 21 days of prayer, and so if you're new to me, we do 21 days of prayer every January. And during those 21 days of prayer, there are 21 days, 21 speakers, one powerful encounter. And so every single day there is a new speaker. Every single day, God gives us a word. And so this year's word was immeasurable grace. And honey, if you want to check out all of the replays, you can go to my YouTube channel. You can click the link in my bio, my link tree, and I think there is something up there that says, watch 21 days of prayer. You can watch all of the replays. And let me tell you, honey, be ready to be blessed. Be ready for God to speak to you. Be ready to be stretched. All of the things. You hear me? And so, hey, Odessa, how are you, lovey? Hey, Angela. Hey, girl. Hey, I see you. Listen, I saw y'all popping in, and I'm like, I see some people on here. But yes, I am excited. It was fire, wasn't it? And so again, you can watch the replays from 21 days of prayer. And so this is not going to be like 21 days of prayer. One of the things that God has really been talking to me about is equipping his daughters for the kingdom, and some of the sons that follow me, right? And so some of that really is around like giving you opportunities to study, giving you opportunities to get in his presence. And so one of the things that I will say around us reading Proverbs during the month of March is give yourself time not only to just read it, give yourself time to study it, and give yourself time to let it marinate, right? My little hair, I feel like my hair is lopsided. It always does this like at nighttime. Give yourself time to read it. I'm going to say it. Give yourself time to study it, and give yourself time to marinate, for it to marinate. Hey, Kita Poo, how are you, love? We missed you on Tuesday. We've been keeping you in prayer. Give yourself time to read it, right? Those of you who can type in the chat, give yourself time to read it. Give yourself time to study it, and give yourself time to marinate on it. What do I mean by that? I mean, don't just read it and put it down and walk away. I want you to take some time to read it a couple times so that it gets in you, right? The word says, your word have I hidden in my heart that I might not sin against you. You want to be able to read the word. You want to be able to study the word, right? And so you may have to go in, and this is why I'm giving you resources. If you don't already have a concordance or you don't already have a commentary. I mean, we're blessed now. Like when I started doing my Bible studies years and years ago, we only had books. We didn't have the internet. And so I had a really big exhaustive concordance where I could go in and study words to really understand what the words meant and really understand what God was saying. And so I really want you to take some time over these next 31 days and really ask God to show you what he wants you to have, and show you what he wants you to understand as it relates to wisdom, as it relates to understanding, as it relates to discernment, and really as it relates to hearing his voice. The Bible says that my sheep know my voice. And so if there's no way you can do what God is telling you to do and you don't spend time with him to recognize his voice. There's no way that you can pay attention to what God is saying or be alerted of what God is saying if you don't spend time with him. And so at any rate, this tea is so good. If you don't know anything about me, I love tea. I'm always drinking tea. And so I made me some tea specifically for our conversation tonight. So I know most of my people are sleeping. There's a lot of stuff going on tonight, but I still wanted to honor my word and go live tonight. And I know people will see it tomorrow, and I probably will email people. If you're on my email list, I'll send something out letting folks know, hey, we're live. I was live. Go check out the details. So I'm going to say probably around 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day, there will be a post from me around your reflections. And I might even do it a little later, like around 6 p.m. just to give people an opportunity. But I think I want to do it early enough to where people are waking up in the morning and they have revelations around whatever God is saying. And the goal is conversation. The goal is to learn from one another. The goal is to get you not just looking to be a taker, but also a giver. What is God saying to you about each and every chapter that you're reading each and every day as it relates to the book of Proverbs, right? There's going to be at least one or two verses that stick out to you that you're going to be like, "Ooh, I remember reading this, but oh goodness, this thing is like." And here's the thing, between tonight and tomorrow, if you plan to join us, right? If you're planning to join us, let me know. But between tonight and tomorrow, I want you to be in prayer around asking God to show you what you and highlight what it is that He wants you to see, and He wants you to hear as you read through the book of Proverbs during the month of March. Okay. I want you to be in prayer and ask God to open your heart. I would encourage you to fast at least once a week as it relates to, so you can hear. If you're already fasting, then just incorporate that into what is already happening. So during that fast, just kind of meditate even the more. But during this time of March, while we're reading the book of Proverbs, ask God how you need to be moving this year. Ask God like what things you need to be like, how you need, where your eyes need to be open, right? Ask God, where you need to be a little bit more sensitive, where your discernment needs to kick in. Ask Him like during, and you can ask Him throughout the entire time, but if you're fasting and throughout each day, ask God, co-create this experience with Him. Co-create this experience with Him, because if you give Him an opportunity to speak, if you give Him an opportunity to move, if you give Him an opportunity to show up, He will. He will. He will. So probably around, like I said, around 12:30ish, I'm probably gonna create like a basic post, and I'm gonna share it probably across the platforms, but specifically in my groups. And I really hadn't planned to do all of this, but I forget that I have people across all platforms. Like, I really have people on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. And so I always tend to leave people out because the majority of my tribe is on Facebook. So I wanted to include you all. So again, if you're on Instagram, I want to include you. I want to be able to chat with you. I created a broadcast channel. It is an IG community, right? It's basically called Deetra's IG community. Child, did not think of a whole nother name for it, because it's really for us to have conversation on Instagram. If you looking to follow me on Instagram, you can go to True Heart Speaks, at True Heart Speaks, to TrueHeartSpeaks, True Heart Speaks, right? I'm on True Heart Speaks. If you are on Facebook and you want to be a part of the Facebook group is called the I Speak Life Society. I Speak Life Society is specifically for women. The IG community is co-ed, so anybody can just about join that. But I am excited about doing Proverbs for the month of March. And so if you plan to join me, let me know. I feel like whatever I created for TikTok, you all can't comment. Like, I don't know what I did. I'm just gonna be honest. You all can't comment, so I can't see you comment. And so I want to say thank y'all for joining, but I can't see any of your comments here. And so at least I know not to hit that again. And I thought it was just like, oh, we'll be able to chat and all that kind of stuff, but I can't see any comments. And I don't know if y'all are trying to comment and you can't. But those of you who are watching here on StreamYard, are you all excited about, if you're planning on joining me in the community in reading the book of Proverbs, what are you most excited about? What are you has God been talking to you about discernment? Has God been talking to you? Even those of you who are, if you're watching, give me some hearts, continue to give me hearts. And let me know, like, if God has been, if you're in a space where you want to go a little bit deeper with the Lord, you're in a space where you want to spend a little bit more time with Him, where you're looking for Him to speak to you in a greater capacity. You can share the heart, right? Double tap the screen and let's hit some hearts. And this actually, when I'm watching TikTok on a sidebar. It reminds me of when I first started almost 10 years ago on Periscope, because hearts were like the big thing. And so wherever you're watching, I always love the hearts. And I used to call them hearts of worship, where we would collectively come together. And that was our way of opening up our time together, and on what I called the morning life scope at the time. And people would double tap the screen and they would hit hearts. So does anybody have any questions? I had a little something scratching my throat. I had not planned on staying on here very long. And the reason I came on TikTok is specifically because I know it doesn't save, but those who watch will also be able to learn about it. And if they want to join, they can. And if not, that's okay too. But those of you who are watching live here on Instagram and on Facebook, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn, that's a lot to say. Are you all excited about it? Do you plan to join me? I'll love, like, what y'all got going on in the comments? Y'all real quiet. I know it's late. We're going to bed in a minute. Angela said, let's get this party started. Yes. All right, let me see here. Let me see. Don't mind me. I am going to my page and I'm looking. Hi, son. I see you popped in. Okay, so I see Lottie. Who else do I see? I see some comments, but okay. All right, so I'm gonna share this. Let's see here. I probably should have shared this in the beginning, but I'm gonna share it to my personal page as well. I feel like I need to share it in the Facebook group. I feel like I need to go live in the Facebook group, which I think I'm probably going to do when I get done here really quickly. I think I'm going to share this in my Facebook group. Let me see here. And then those of you who are commenting, give me 1 second. And the only thing I don't like, and I don't even know if you can go live in broadcast channels in Instagram, but I know you can go live in Facebook groups. Sharing details about. And those of you who are here watching on TikTok, make sure you double tap the screen. I want to see hearts. Let's see if we can get to like 500 hearts, maybe 1,000. Can y'all help me out with that? Our Proverbs Bible study. All right. Okay, so I shared that there. Let me go back to StreamYard just to make sure we're good here. Okay. So I see y'all watching, but I don't know who's here. It's like y'all are silently watching. Like y'all are in stealth mode. But I'm not gonna stay on here long because I wanna, again, here we go. I'm live here. I had to mute it to make sure it's not loud when I pull it up. Okay, so I see this here. Okay, so maybe there's somebody watching on LinkedIn. At any rate, I see a couple of people watching. So, which is fine. All right. Hey, Chris, how are you, lovey? Hey, girl, hey. Yes, we are live preparing for our study of Proverbs tomorrow. Does anybody have any questions about how to prepare, how to read? And I need my charger, and I don't have it here to charge really both of my phones because they are both about to die in a couple seconds. But does anybody have any questions about how to study? Any resources that you are looking at as it relates to studying? I'd love to be able to support you, in that area. Again, the big three things that we're focusing on is reading, studying, and meditating. Letting that marinating and meditating in that thing. Like, don't just read it and then move on. Really take some time to study it. If you have been a part of my community and you know anything about studying, you can go to BibleHub.com. You can go to BlueLetterBible.com and really dig deep into each chapter. The great part about the suggestion that I made for, and I'm going to put this actually in the chat for those of you so you can, and this is specifically for those of you who are on StreamYard. I'm going to put this in here. I don't know if I can do this. I'll put it in there. Those of you who are on Instagram, if you're watching this live or on the replay, I want to put it in the Facebook group and in the IG community, right? And so those of you who are watching live, I do have an IG community, and it's basically called Deetra's IG community. And so I will be sharing the same information in the Facebook group as well as the IG community, and really so that we can have conversation. This specific study is for conversation and for collective study, right? I am not teaching. I won't be live, but we will be having dialogue amongst each other. I may do maybe like every 10 days or so, do a check-in. Hey, Pamela, how are you? I'm excited that I'm doing this as well. But I really feel like it's important for us to be equipped, right? Y'all get the preaching and teaching on Sundays and Wednesdays or Tuesdays or Thursdays or whenever you have Bible study. But at some point, you got to go into the word for yourself. You got to study the word for yourself. You have to learn to allow God to speak to you through the word for yourself. And so this is a community Bible study, but it is private. It is you're studying privately, but we are sharing collectively. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what God is going to say to me. And I'm also looking forward to seeing what God is saying to you. And so if you're a part of my Facebook group, if you're going to be a part of the IG community, and if I happen to share posts, I probably won't, because it's just a lot for me to share amongst all of the communities, which is why I'm going live so that you all know where to come, whether on Facebook or Instagram. And I could send it directly to my email, but the purpose of this is community study. The purpose of this is a collective study, right? So I want to know what God is saying, right? Don't just wait for me to say, oh, God is whatever. I want you to already be ready when the post hits for you to share, right? And I don't know if I will ask you to share right under the thread. Like, you could just pop into the group. I don't know. I haven't, to be honest, this isn't something as meticulous and planned as my 21 days of prayer. The last time we studied the book of Proverbs, specifically in my Facebook group, was probably back in 2016, 2017. And this reason for us doing it this year is because in the season that we're coming up against, we're going to need wisdom. We're going to need to be able to know strategy. We're going to need to be able to increase our discernment, right? And we're going to need to be able to recognize God's voice. And so in all of that, I want to make sure that we are prepared and we are equipped to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? We can't be like, oh, well, what is pastor saying on Sunday, or what's happening in Bible study? Like, you got to be able to go to the word, and you got to be able to have your own prayer closet, and you got to be able to have your own space where you can seek the Lord for yourself, right? And in community, right? And so I love that we are going to have an opportunity to study together. We're going to have an opportunity to study together. And so I love that for us. So let me Does anybody have any questions about anything? I'm gonna get ready to let y'all go because my phone is literally getting ready to die in a moment. I'm just going to check into my Facebook community just to see if anybody is sharing, because those comments don't pop up here. And then I don't see anything in here. And you know what? Let me look on LinkedIn because I don't know if those pop up on StreamYard as well. This is probably the first time that I've been live on all of my platforms all at the same time. I normally go live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And for whatever reason, I'll be leaving out TikTok and Instagram. And so I wanted to come live and talk to y'all because I very rarely do, right? Like I don't always, I never go live on TikTok. And so I want to do better at that. But yeah. Okay, let's see here. I'm live. Okay, so we're good there. And we're good here. This tea is so good. Hey Odessa, I see you done jumped over to Instagram. All right, let's see here. Where are we? Oh, that's why. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm about to let y'all go. I'm gonna go back into StreamYard comments really quickly just to see if anybody has any comments. I'm just checking just to make sure everything is good. But we won't be live. Like if this is gonna be a collective thing. Like I'm gonna be stretching y'all. Because I think it's important, for us not to, it says, I miss where Proverbs are we starting? We start tomorrow. So if I have not said that, tomorrow, March 1st, we start. And so it is a personal reading. And so with that, let me just go back to this really quickly. So starting March 1st, tomorrow, we are reading every single day in the month of March. We're reading the book of Proverbs. So tomorrow we'll read chapter 1. You'll study chapter 1. I will share a post in my Facebook group as well as a post in my new IG group community. And you will share in there your takeaways, your comments, your, the revelations, whatever God is saying to you during that time period. And you can come back like the next day, whatever, right? There's no like time limit to that. But basically you'll have an opportunity. It says, I miss where in Proverbs we're starting. Yes. And so I also shared the Bible plan. And so if you are not familiar with studying, right, on your own, where you can kind of, go through the scripture, go through the text, study the text, and take it apart and really get revelation around what God is saying to you, we'll be also using, and I won't say we, but it's a supplemental resource for you in the YouVersion Bible, and it is the Bible Project. It's called The Wisdom of Proverbs. And so if you go today to subscribe to it, it's 32 days because it gives you the day before to kind of jump into it, and it gives you an overview of Proverbs. And I want to say, I think it's in chapter 2 where they kind of give you a few scriptures kind of to jumpstart, right? And so then tomorrow, day 1, you would read whatever the description is. They actually have, I think, like a YouTube video on chapter 1, and then there's like a devotional, and then you would read it. And then I would encourage you also to get a journal, and maybe just a journal that you can dedicate to taking notes specifically over these next 30 days on the study of Proverbs, so that it's not within your other. And I'm probably going to do that myself. I was thinking about that earlier this week because I have one journal that I kind of write everything in, but I think I really want to make sure that I keep it separate so that everything that I study in Proverbs from 1 to 31 can stay in the same spot, right? And so, yes, so that's that. But we start tomorrow, March 1st. So depending upon when you are watching the replay, we start March 1st, 2025. And so no matter when you see this, just jump in, right? Pick up wherever we are. If you find us on day 5, pick up on day 5, and then try to take some time to make up, in between that time. But I really want to encourage you. This is where we are building our wisdom muscle, our discernment muscle, and really just seeking the Lord. But again, I want to hear from you. This is not just about me teaching. I want to hear from you. What is God saying to you? What are you learning from the Proverbs, right? I don't want you to feel intimidated with like, oh, I don't know if I hear the Lord talking to me. Okay, well, what did you get out of what you read? What do you feel like God was saying to you out of what you read, right? So yeah. So that's that. Any other questions before I let y'all go? Like I said, I did not expect to be on here for 36 minutes. But I really wanted to, come on here and honor my word. And I'm excited about Proverbs. And so I actually got this new notebook on Tuesday when I went to an event. I actually might use that for my Proverbs Bible study because it's clean. It's nothing in it. So I think I'm going to use that. I could essentially, so some of you, if you are like digital writers, you could open up a Google Doc and just, chapter 1 write, chapter 2 write, or create new, or create a folder. So I'll give you some examples of like, you can create note, like in your notes in your phone, create a Proverbs note folder in your phone. And then each note would be like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, or you could just kind of keep it going. But I think if you're going to like type in your notes, whether it's an iPad or your phone, you could easily just create the folder so you have it and then have a different note for each day. So you can be able to go back, like this is chapter 1 all the way through to chapter 31, and you know where they are. If you use any other type of note software, Evernote, I can't remember what the notes one is, in Microsoft, but whatever it is, right? Don't overcomplicate it. It really is just about reading, studying, and meditating. So if you can type that in the chat, read, study, meditate. I know y'all can't type on TikTok. I'm sorry, whatever button I hit, child. We're just I'm talking and y'all listening. I promise I'm gonna learn TikTok some way so that we can talk together on this chat. I done hit the wrong, I don't know what button I should have hit. But I see you all popping in, and I see all of these little waves. Some of them came in with waves and some of them didn't. So I'm waving to the people. So yes, read, study, meditate. Thank you. If you are watching here on Facebook, Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, type that in, and then we're going to head out. But read, study, and meditate. That's really where we are. And that's really what I believe God really wants us doing daily anyway. But and for me, I wanted to, hello there. I am excited about the Proverbs study, read, study, and meditate. Yes, me too. Thank you, ladies. So we will kick off tomorrow. And as promised, probably around 12:30ish. And they probably, I don't know if I can schedule posts in the IG community. So I'm going to play around with that. But in the meantime, I'm probably going to share something specifically in the Facebook group. I'll share a post, and then everybody can comment under that post so we can kind of keep it. But at this point, even if you pop into the group and just say, hey, this is my takeaway, I'm fine with that too. I really just want you studying. I want you, commenting and sharing. Because I want to know what you're learning, right? Like, I believe that God is speaking to all of us. And sometimes I think we get caught up in people that we're connected to, who we're assigned to, and we always only look to them. But I really think that I know that God is speaking to all of us. So with that being said, I'm going to head off and get myself ready for bed. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this tea. I might even make some more because this tea right here. So those of you who don't know, like, I love little gadgets. And so this is a silicone tea bag. And the tea that I have in here is called Winter Citrus. It actually is a winter, a holiday tea that I picked up from a local community space here called Cup of Community. And so this has honey, lemon, and an elderberry honey in it. And the elderberry honey, I only have like a teaspoon. And I actually take that for wellness, just building up my immune system. And I got that locally here at one of our grocery stores. But I probably could fill this back up. And I might be able to get a good three cups of tea just out of this, because what you see in here is it is a teaspoon of tea in here. It's a teaspoon of tea in here. You see that? And so because it's loose leaf tea, it probably will last. I probably can, like I said, I know I can get at least 2 more. I know I can show you all here. You see how like dark that is? I don't know if y'all can see that. I don't want to spill it. I don't know. See how dark that is? I could get another cup of tea out of that, probably another 2 cups, because it's so rich. And so I hacked up on loose leaf tea maybe about 2 or 3 years ago. And now that is the majority of what I drink. And if I don't drink loose tea, I drink lots of good like herbal teas. I love tea. Like I love tea. So this is not about tea. This is about Proverbs. So you all be on the lookout. I probably will send a reminder tomorrow. I will not be sending out daily emails. Because this is a personal study, right? I may maybe every 7 days say, hey, how are you doing? Come on over to the Facebook group. You're missing out. Join us in the IG community. You're missing out. But don't look for me to be sending out daily emails, because I'm reading, studying, and meditating as well. So this is, again, personal Bible study, but collective share. And I want to know, what y'all are studying. And so again, those of you who are on TikTok who are joining, and just wondering how you can join us. If you're on Facebook, you can join my Facebook community as a woman. This is because that Facebook group is for women of faith. And it's the I Speak Life Society, but my IG group is a co-ed group, so anybody can join that. And so you can just follow me at True Heart Speaks on IG. You can look up my name, Deetra Trueheart, and then on my page, it'll show Deetra's IG community. You can join the broadcast channel. And so between my Facebook group and my IG group, that is where most of the conversation will take place. Not via email, not via text, because really I want it to be a group community thing, not just me emailing you and then you responding back. I want everybody to be able to see what is being shared and to be able to go back and forth in conversation. So with that being said, I'm gonna let y'all go. Thank y'all for hanging out with me, and I will see y'all tomorrow. And I can't wait to hear and read what God says to you all as it relates to Proverbs 1. And something in me is saying, I think I'm going to do an evening post to give people an opportunity to just study throughout the day, and not feel rushed. So I may try 12:30, but I'm thinking like 6. I just have to figure out if I can schedule it. And so if I can schedule it, then it'll probably be maybe later in the day. Like, okay, you've had an opportunity to study. You've had an opportunity literally to read, study, and meditate on that specific chapter of Proverbs. What is God saying to you, right? Some of you may get up early in the morning. Some of you might study at night, but we're gonna figure it out. But again, I'm not gonna overthink it, but I do want to create space for us to be able to have conversation and to communicate, and just to share, right? Share God's word. So y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for being up with me tonight and being with me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And I will see you all tomorrow in my Facebook and Instagram communities as we kick off our study of the Book of Proverbs for the entire month. Also be on the lookout on most of my pages. Tomorrow is a new month. And so I might drop that tonight at midnight, but I definitely will drop it tomorrow. I do reflection questions on how you can reflect on the previous month, and then also going into the new month, things that you need to just be thinking about. And so I'll be dropping that as well. But I really want to make sure that you are taking time to reflect and taking time not to just let these months fly by, because I can't believe we're already past the second month of the year. We're already into the third month of the year. Like, I feel like we're going to be saying Merry Christmas in a moment. My 3-day event is coming up in December, and even though it feels like it's far away, I feel like in a moment we blink and we're at the event, which is in December. And so I just want us to be able to reflect and to be able to sit in the moment and to be able to enjoy like whatever has happened. Like, there's my favorite planner is called the Passion Planner. And one of the things that it has throughout each week, it says like good things that happen. And so like just taking time to reflect on like, were there any good things that happened? What are you grateful for? And there's always something to be grateful for. I don't care how bad life is, there is always something to be grateful for. There is always something to be grateful for. I want you to remind yourself. And that's actually why I wrote this book, 30 Days of Thanks. You all can see that there. I wrote this book almost a long time ago, 30 Days of Thanks. You can find it on Amazon. 30 Daily Devotions for Cultivating an Attitude of Gratitude. And then this back here is a devotional journal, where it basically gives you an opportunity to write out what your thoughts are, or respond to the journal prompts from each day. But back when I initially wrote the book, back in so the backstory of the book is it started out as an e-devotional and then transitioned into a book around 2016, 2017. But when I initially wrote it, I was going through a really heavy time, and the Lord had to bring me back out of that thing to remind me that yes, things may not be going the way you anticipate. It may not be going the way you desire. It may not even be as great as you thought, but there are always things to be grateful for. And so in that, every single day for 30 days, here, depending upon where you're watching, the Lord gave me something to be grateful for. And hundreds, I don't know if thousands, but I know hundreds of people have purchased my book and who have just been blessed by it, because it brings you back to the reality of like simple things, right? Like that we're grateful that it could be worse. We're grateful for life. We're grateful for our minds. We're grateful for sight and for vision. We're grateful for our bodies. Like, we're grateful for things that sometimes we take for granted. And so I say all of that to say, make sure you are taking time to reflect. Make sure that you are taking time to sit in the process of gratefulness and gratitude and appreciation, because my book is based off of 1 Thessalonians 5:18. In all things give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. That in all things, not some things, not good things, not great things, like let's forget the bad things, but in all things we are to give thanks. So with that being said, you can look out for those posts. Make sure you take time to sit in reflection, even in the midst of studying and reading and meditating on the Book of Proverbs. If you've got to like stop watching maybe your favorite show for a little bit to do both, you are worth taking time to reflect. You are worth taking time for yourself to think about like what happened this month and how you want the next month to turn out. How are you co-creating your time, your space, your days with God? Are you including him in what you have going on, or is he an afterthought? So as y'all can see, y'all, I could keep going. We are now at 48 minutes. I'm going to let y'all go. We going to all go to bed, but continue to just make sure you're following me on all the social media platforms. Make sure you are still a part of my email list. If there's certain things that are coming up, my email list and my communities are always the first to get access to that. And then I share them on social media. And so just make sure that we're connected also, because if something happens to any one of these platforms, I still want to be able to stay connected to you. So you all have a good night. You all sleep well. And I am excited about this journey through Proverbs that we are getting ready to take over these next 31 days, starting tomorrow. So good night. I love y'all, and I will see you tomorrow. Good night, y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow in both groups, whether Instagram or Facebook. But I am excited. So I love y'all. Have a good night.